Hey, Mr. True here. I'm going to show the 6th grade percussionists how to play the beginning bend workout for the snare drum. And we're going to start with number 1. This is divided into 4 main lines. And as you can see on the paper, number 1 is 2 lines long. Number 2 is 2 lines long. Number 3 is just 4 measures. And number 4 is just 4 measures. So we'll go back to number 1. And I want you to follow the sticking. You see the right and the left and the right and the left on the paper, and so follow the sticking. And as you play, remember to keep your sticks about 1 inch, 1 to 1.5 inches above the head, and that's your starting point. And when you play a stroke, you come back to that point. Okay, and we're only going up about that's about maybe 8 to 10 inches for just a regular medium stroke. Okay, remember to keep your hand holding the stick just like this. Okay, the thumb and the first finger control the stick. Okay, they control the stick, and these three fingers will serve as I call them springs because they will end up helping the stick play faster later on. But I call them the springs. But for now, they're just going to lightly touch the stick, and we're just going to use our wrist. We're just going to use our wrist. Remember, we're not using a shake the hand motion. This is shaking a hand, and when you play drum set, a lot of times you play drum set, you'll play with that shaking the hand motion like that. We're actually going to use more of, if you were patting the dog, pat the dog, we're using our wrist motion like that. Okay? And left hand same way. Left hand same way. Don't worry about trying to play traditional right now. That's just that comes later. So the traditional style comes later. So we're going to play matched grip. This is number 1. Let's get started. And number 1 sounds like this. I'm going to count, and I encourage you to please count as you're playing. Count, measure, or count 1, 2, 3, 4 if you have quarter notes. And like in in number 2, measure 11 on the paper, you see the 8th notes. That would be counted 1 and 2 and 3, 4. We'll get to that in a second. But this is number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Left, right, left, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, right, left, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, right, 3, 4. Right. Now I counted right, right, just to remind you that it's 2 rights and then 2 lefts. And through the 2 lefts, in the second to last measure, I said 3 and 4. So there I kind of mixed a little bit of saying the sticking and the counting of the measure. And so as you're going through, use the proper sticking, but then also in those last 2 measures you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so that's the end of number 1. This is number 2, and again it has 8th notes, so we're going to use alternate sticking, right, left, but then we're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3 and 4 for the quarter notes. So this is number 2. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now, when we got to measure 3 of number 2, which is technically measure 13, we start with the left, and we go 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And we do that twice. So measure 11 and 12, we go rights first, and then measure 13 and 14, we do left. Now if you look at measure 15 has alternated right and left for the first 2 counts. So 1 and 2 and then it goes right, right, left, 3 and 4 and 1. So let's play number 2 again, now that you have all those sticking down, the different sticking, and we're counting. This is number 2. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And you want to make each tap, each stroke, the same level of hardness, same level of energy, and eventually we'll call that just dynamic, the same level dynamic. Okay? Look at number 3. Number 3 is a fairly simple one. We actually using a quarter note for the first and third measures, and then a whole note for second and fourth measure. And for the whole note, we simply just stroke it one time, and we'll just count through that. Sounds like number 3 sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a little bit simpler, no eighth notes to deal with, but you want to make sure that when you play the whole note, you count 4 counts for the whole measure, and then the next measure comes. Number 4 combines a little bit of all this together, and in the last measure, look at the last measure, is using 16th notes on beat 2, and that's actually counted 2-ienda, and so the beat 1 is eighth notes, 16s, and then a quarter note. So 1 and 2-ienda, 3, rest. Again, that's 1 and 2-ienda, 3, and rest. So all of 4 sounds like this.
We need Francie Hubbard, Nathan Mills, and Morgan Moore to the International Plaza, please. Morgan Moore, Nathan Mills, and Francie Hubbard. Thank you.
And that was Mr. Dublin giving a nice announcement, and apologize for that. Didn't have that planned. But anyway, back to number 4. Number 4 sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2-ienda, 3. Okay. Again, number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2-ienda, 3. Rest. Okay, and that's the beginning of the workout, and we'll play that a lot in 6th grade band. And if you have any questions, come see me. But have fun practicing this, and we will see you later.